The world Rhy Shen remembered from his past was shiny and white. His people did not need machines or labs because they had long reached a godlike state by cultivating qi. The masters of this world grew stronger and stronger and absorbed more qi than the world could offer. They fed their arrogance and stopped training at all, becoming lazy gods full of hubris. To most, the elders' prophecies for young cultivators were nothing more than fortune sayings, easily brushed aside. Where others saw the prophecies as mere words, Rhy Shen saw law. The roar of the waterfall crashed around Rhy Shen, the water hitting him like a falling boulder, twisting his shoulder, threatening to drag him into the abyss below. Every fiber of his being burned with determination to withstand this force of nature.
I can do this. I will bring light.
He forced his hand under the torrent, teeth grinding, heart hammering. Others mocked him, seeing nothing but a dreamer, a fool longing to be more than he was. But he knew better.
My moment will come. I will fulfill my prophecy.
A sudden burst of laughter cut through the roar of the waterfall. From behind a tangle of bushes, a figure stepped lightly over the rocks, eyes sparkling with amusement.
Did you really just cheer for yourself like a fanboy, Rhy Shen? You are so delusional, even the waterfall is cringing. Every brat in the clan gets that same prophecy, you know. It's more a tradition than a promise.
At least I'm training while you're busy spying. Could you please mind your own business, Mio?
Mio's eyes widened slightly, a touch of pity flickering across her face.
Yeah, but training again?
Oh, of all people who could cross his ways in the middle of the forest, why did it have to be Mio? Rhy Shen didn't even dare to look at her. Her face, radiant as the sun, seemed capable of blinding him outright. He clenched his jaw, glaring but unable to hide the redness creeping into his ears. Filled with determination, he wiped dripping hair from his face and squared his shoulders, ready for the next attempt to withstand the waterfall.
Please, Rhy Shen. You're as dramatic as thunder and the moon.
When shit goes down, I'll be the only one ready to save you. You will thank me one day.
He stepped forward boldly, aiming to brace himself under the roaring waterfall. The water disagreed. With one mighty shove, it sent him tumbling into the calm lake below, like bread tossed into a pond.
Brilliant! Truly heroic. The Lightbringer, conquered by the powers of nature.
Rhy Shen plunged into the lake, desperate to disappear beneath the surface. He imagined himself gliding through the water like a stealthy crocodile, silent and unseen. Every stroke took him farther from the waterfall, farther from the world above, and, he hoped, farther from Mio. He emerged cautiously at the lake's far edge, just enough to peek out, and froze. Bright, sparkling eyes were already there, hovering mere inches from his own. Mio grinned silently, while Rhy Shen's face drained of color.
Damned! I thought I would be clever enough to slip beneath the waves unnoticed.
He was not. Instead, he found himself caught, staring into the mischievous triumph of someone who had clearly seen every awkward, flailing inch of his ridiculous plunge. Rhy Shen struggled against the waves to get out, but Mio was faster. With a fluid motion, she pulled him out. Every movement radiated a power far beyond the natural boundaries. She moved like a goddess, spoke like a goddess, and Rhy Shen could do nothing but watch, awed and anxious. He coughed, dripping wet, as she set him down on the stones at the shore. The sun leaned toward the horizon, a dull lump of coal against the glow that seemed to emanate from her alone. For a moment he fell silent, eyes fixed on her, his heart still battling the force of the water and the even greater force of her presence.
Have you heard they finally discovered where the QILIN nests?
She asked with a smirk on her face. Rhy Shen's eyes widened. The news had reached him days ago, and though everyone was talking, he believed some things were better left untouched. The QILIN was a creature whispered of in legend, draped in celestial grace, feared and revered across all realms, and it never appeared without its brood. Myths said the creature carried a single egg through a lifetime of patient devotion, nurturing within it a pulsating heart of Qi, a power capable of eclipsing 100 worlds. No wonder the masters and cultivators hungered for it. Rhy Shen leaned back, palms braced on the gravel. His words were cold with outrage.
Grrr. The great grandmasters are so full of shit. They've drained so much Qi from the world that it groans under the weight of their power. Soon, it will collapse, and all they'll have left are ashes. And now they won't even leave the most divine creature in the universe alone? I won't be part of this. I want to break the cycle of madness, not feed it.
Mio tilted her head, her gaze piercing yet calm, and her voice carried the weight of certainty.
Maybe this is your lucky day, Rhy Shen. This is our chance to put the great grandmasters in their place.
Rhy Shen felt a flicker of pleasure at the thought, a rare warmth in his chest. Of course. What other choice was there? Start a war against the overpowered elite? And with whom? The upper class, Mio among, had leached the world of its vitality. Even the lowest social circles lived like monarchs, their comforts guaranteed. No one would ever be willing to upend that system. Now they had discovered the QILIN egg, a power capable of resolving the cascading problems born from their overpowered society. For the first time in a long while, the path forward seemed possible. Mio's voice softened, persuasive, almost intimate.
Oh, Rhy Shen, you have no idea. The power inside a QILIN egg isn't just immense, it's unimaginable. Even you could rise to godhood with it. We could create a true, everlasting paradise.
Her words spoke of care, while her eyes spoke of greed.
I am serious. It will be our inaction that destroys the world. Taking the egg might be the best solution for everyone. This QILIN. It could bring true, lasting peace. Not just a fleeting balance, but harmony for all beings in the world. Its power could tip the scales, resolve the rot of their society, and, if wielded wisely, create a chance at lasting balance.
Yeah, because slaughtering its divine offspring will surely earn us a place in hell.
Don't be so quick to despair, Rhy Shen. Maybe it's true that everyone underestimated you your whole life. I felt it. That's why I came to tell you about the discovery. The egg. It's far too powerful to be harmed by mere Qi extraction. It doesn't need to be destroyed, only relocated. That's all it takes.
Rhy Shen's eyes lingered on her with a mixture of doubt and hope stirring in their depths.
How do you know any of that? Do you blindly trust the old texts, or have you actually seen it with your own eyes?
We'll soon find out when the great grandmasters make their move.
Rhy Shen's anger flared. A vein was pulsing wildly at his throat.
They'll likely slaughter the QILIN, or consume its egg for themselves. Such power shouldn't belong to a few greedy wannabe gods. It should be a common resource for all.
Exactly why someone needs to get there first. And I believe that someone is us. You and me.
Obviously, Mio knew nothing of beasts. Otherwise, she wouldn't have dared something so reckless. Yet Rhy Shen was far too polite to point that out to her face.
Pah! Even if by some miracle the QILIN doesn't tear us apart the moment we touch its egg, how long do you think our paradise will last? Until it hatches and the world goes dark?
Show a little respect, Rhy Shen. A QILIN isn't just some flying hoofed creature. It has reason and infinite power. Once the egg is in our hands, it will be far more receptive to our intentions. Don't you think this could be a chance to make it listen to us? You clearly know nothing about beasts! You always were better at moral speeches than action. You can go back chanting to the trees while I'll be the one who actually gets things done for once in her life.
Mio strode ahead, and without quite knowing why, Rhy Shen followed, drawn after her like a thought he should have abandoned. This is where his memory is already beginning to fade. He remembered his hands brushing her shoulder when she stopped and turned around. And in this exact moment, A single image burned into his heart. A face he would carry through the ether forever. A face that had once trusted him completely. Ugh, what happened next? Rhy Shen's memory blurred, slipping through his mind like water through his fingers. Had Mio kissed him? Or had he only imagined it, desperate enough to wish it into being? The ether swallowed the memory whole, leaving nothing but a hollow warmth and the faintest echo of what might have been. Maybe it was because he wanted to fulfill his fate. Maybe it was the fact that Mio saw him as capable enough to do what is right in the world. Whatever the reason, Rhy Shen decided to fulfill his prophecy by bringing this eternal source of power to the world.